America in autumn. Humidity's low, vegetation's very dry, strong winds fan the flames.
It's incredible what this guy's about to do.
Everything's thrown at it. Even DC-10 passenger jets swap people for powder to fight the fire.
And it's dropping straight down. Oh my gosh. Unloading so much.
Despite this pilot's low-flying efforts, in 2015, wildfires in the US destroyed an area the size of Denmark.
This is home.
Behind every song, there's an untold story.
Just my life.
I'm going to be a pop star.
Go back in time
It's the police.
to Dick Lee's troubled youth
Congratulations, you failed your O-levels.
and witness his journey to become Singapore's wonder boy.
It's time to play your own music.
Wonder Boy on Lights, Camera, Singapore. Premieres Tuesday, 10 p.m. on 5. You can also watch it on Toggle at the same time.
Share the magic of Disney's Aladdin with someone you love. With breathtaking sets, mind-blowing special effects, and dazzling costumes, don't miss the most spectacular musical coming to Singapore for a strictly limited season only. Book today at marinabaysands.com.
Well, that's easy. I eat right, stay active, rest well. Oh wait, and for added peace of mind, I take this. It's not just a fizzy tablet. Redoxin Triple Action, filled with the goodness of vitamin C. It's fortified with zinc, boosted with vitamin D to support your immunity. Cheers, now you know. For antioxidant protection and immunity support, take Redoxin Triple Action.
之前呢，我是一个很开朗、很活泼的人，但是中风之后，我什么都完了，天空变得黑色了。那么到我曾经，他通过不同的医法，医到我的心里能够平静下来，胃胀急躁，短短的1年而已，我就可以开始走起来了。健康失而复得，感恩你，善举。
Corsicana, Texas, May 2015. Over 1.5 feet of rain fell in 2 days, filling the city with flash floods. Chrissy Heichman had pulled over, but not everyone was as cautious.
I saw this guy bumbling towards the flood. His legs just went out from under him. I thought at that point, I just saw somebody die.
911, where's your emergency? There's a guy tried to cross. He's clinging on to the, he's barely got his head above water. He fell into the water and he's clinging on to a power pole.
Luckily, tow truck owner Brian Gilmore had seen him too.
At the time that we arrived, his head was barely above water. My first thoughts is, how's this guy end up out here? What was he thinking when he crossed this water? You know, but he was in a situation where he needed help.
I can't tell if his head's above water or not. There's no way to help him.
I would think that he wasn't going to be able to hang on to that pole too much longer with the swift water.
This tow truck driver was like, made a decision, got out there, and just went straight into the water. And I'm like, who is this guy?
Gosh, I don't think this is a good idea.
Brian had been out looking for people who needed help. But this man had been clinging for his life for 3 minutes.
You know, I was hollering at him saying, please don't let go. Please don't let go. I'm coming. Please don't let go.
One slip from Brian, and he would be gone too.
Don't let go.
The cable was not hooked into me. I was holding the cable with one hand and reaching for him with the other hand. It got to a point where I couldn't touch with my feet anymore.
Oh, no, 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 no. Almost.
I basically was swimming with the cable hooked to me.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
But when Brian reached him, something was wrong.
Let go of your grocery bag, guy. Come on.
The guy was heavily intoxicated, and, you know, I don't know whether he really realized that he was in a life or death situation.
Oh, man, I have a feeling this guy is, like, just drunk or something.
The man had little grip on the reality of the situation, or Brian's hand.
I was holding the cable with one hand and I pulled him through the water. My partner started pulling us back out, but you know, those winches on those trucks are not, you know, they're not built for speed, and that gives you some time to analyze, you know, is this really the right thing to do? I wasn't giving up. It was either going to be both of us gone or we were coming out. And I kept trying to tell him, don't worry about your bag, let's get out of this water.
Oh my goodness. Don't let go, don't let go. Oh no, no, I fell back in! Oh my God, oh my God. This guy, something is wrong with him. And he won't let go of his dang freaking groceries. Yep, totally drunk. Oh my gosh.
But yards from safety, the man's precious bag went.
Let go, no, no! Don't chase them, oh my God! Oh my God!
I was very frustrated. I was like, you know, I've done put my life in jeopardy here to get you out, and you're worried about your bag of groceries.
Am I really watching this happen? Is this guy really not letting go of his groceries?
It did make things a lot more difficult, those bag of groceries. As soon as we got him out of the water, he said, you know, thank you, but he was just more in shock, I think, as long as what we were too.
Brian's like, you know, the superhero of Corsicana, and if there was anyone that could have been there that would have like helped this guy and had the strength to do it, it was probably Brian.
It was just one of Brian's rescues that night, but to this day he still doesn't know the man's name or what was in the bag.
I don't consider myself a hero. I believe putting in the situation that any normal person would have tried to do what I did.
And he's got a big heart. What a cool dude.
When it comes to deadly weather, it's not just humans that are under attack. Lava can reach temperatures of over 1,000 degrees Celsius. So when it's cascading down the side of a volcano like this, it's wise to give it a wide berth.
Oh my God!
This lucky pooch is inches from falling victim to the lethal heat of this lava bomb. A word of advice: next time you take your dog for a walk on an active volcano, maybe put it on a lead. From reckless pet owners to heroic animal lovers, when acres of woodland were flooded in Hernando, Mississippi, two guys decided to take their modern-day ark into the woods.
Be careful, do not drown!
One possum right here. There's another one in the woods right here. Better go save him too.
While these friendly possums were grateful, their saviors were graceful, moving like ballet dancers across the flooded undergrowth. An armadillo wasn't keen on joining our intrepid team. Then again, maybe he was just shy and didn't want to come out of his shell.
Okay, I see him. He's back on that high ground. He's back on this mound over here.
The possums on board are just happy to meet another survivor and show their love for their savior by not biting him when he strokes their heads. Don't try this at home.
Alright, you're good.
On a frozen Lake Bavin in Sweden, a group of skaters invent a variation of the Olympic sport, curling. This boar, whose claws can't grip the ice, has somehow found itself out in the middle of the lake and can't get back to the woods. It's always difficult to explain to an animal that you're trying to save its bacon, so the boar continues to struggle throughout its journey to shore. How ungrateful. The argumentative boar is now on thin ice, highlighting the dangers of skating on lakes. But she reaches safety just in time to hear the ice crack behind the camera. Who's on thin ice now? This corgi, who's been taken for a walk in the snow by its owner, is happy to act like a canine snowboard. His owner thinks it's a bit of a drag though.
Maestro, come on, let's go.
You know, if you're going to call your dog Maestro, you need to accept that it's going to conduct itself however it damn well pleases. In this episode, we've seen Mother Nature wreak destruction, leave us for dead, and begging for mercy. Next time, there will be more, because deadly weather stops for no one.